When you spend more time in your mind than you do in reality as a means to escape the harsh reality you face in the real world, your eyes start to see things differently. We as South Africans are a fascinating branch of the human species. Sell us a dream for long enough and we just might end up buying it. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, illusions, all a bunch of well-orchestrated illusions.
Tonight, we are going to rob a bank.
You're not a famous musician, you're not a famous YouTuber, you're not living as a millionaire, and you're not living that dream life. You have to wake up every day tired and fatigued, but still you have to go to school, you have to go to that job, that manager you despise. Your phone is your escape. Social media is your escape from this cruel reality. Your brain finds joy and adrenaline in seeing someone else living the life you always dreamt.
Your boy bought a mansion, baby!
An illusion is a distortion of the senses which can reveal how the mind normally organizes and interprets sensory stimulation. Although illusions distort the human perception of reality, they are generally shared by most people. Illusions may occur with any of the human senses, but visual illusions are the best known and understood illusions. The emphasis on visual illusions occurs because vision often dominates the other senses. Have you recently noticed videos of some extremely smart South African YouTubers like Hlubi publishing videos like this, for example, my new car, or bought a car for my girlfriend? He does not state whether he used only YouTube earnings to make this purchase, because he didn't even need to. He painted an illusion that being an African YouTuber averaging over 100,000 views means you can afford to buy that car. Your mind had already been programmed to equate fame or publicity to riches, but that's not even close to the truth. Actually, it's far from the truth. This is for you as the youth to realize we all have to grind and be creative. Ad revenue sharing on YouTube does not work the way most of you seem to believe. He clearly cannot afford that car from his channel's ad revenue alone, emphasis on alone. Based on Google metrics for payments, factor in the region, his niche, the age and gender of the audience that is normally watching his content, then you will start to realize you are seeing a perfectly orchestrated illusion meant to gather as many views as possible. To begin with, advertisers first look at the niche and the main region majority of your viewers are based. Here in Africa, unless you are in the finance and business niche, advertisers will not pay the kind of money they pay for placement on videos from European and American-based creators. People who watch those business and finance videos are most likely to click on an ad than those who watch the vlogs that you guys love to make these days. Just take a look at the money people like Graham Stephan make on YouTube because he's in the business and finance niche. Having an audience from a majority of European nations or the United States make you a lot more appealing to the advertisers. The gap is so huge compared to having a South African-based audience or an African-based audience in general. The key reason for this is because the development rate of nations across the world varies and we are still a developing nation. South Africa hasn't developed to a point where majority of the citizens can afford things at a higher price like European nations. Take Switzerland for example, probably the most expensive country to live in. The standard of living in the Swiss country costs nearly 2 times more than that of the United States. So now imagine if you have a Swiss-based audience on YouTube. Aren't those people most likely to afford paying for a Netflix subscription after seeing an ad as compared to people here in South Africa? Because honestly, I'm a South African and I'm cheap. So who do you think Netflix will pay more for an ad placement? You with your South African viewers or someone else with viewers mostly based in Switzerland and Canada? Believe me, YouTubers get paid really good here in South Africa as well. And yes, the bigger you become in terms of average viewer count, the more you make. But we as a nation haven't reached the level required to be painting this illusion of being YouTube millionaires and YouTube multimillionaires. I saw a video by DJ Sbu naming South African YouTube millionaires as stated on the title you see on your screen. This is blatant lies. I believe quality content does not require this level of clickbait, and honestly this is kind of heartbreaking because he just gave a whole lot of misleading information with that title. Most of the youth don't know it's clickbait because we trust DJ Sbu. We have seen what he did with Morfire, so we trust his business advice. So the youth will believe South African YouTubers earn millions in ad revenue, which is a destructive illusion and one that is very deadly to us as the youth. Content creation and YouTube growth is a grind. It's a struggle, and yes, give it a few more years and YouTubers here in South Africa will also be millionaires. Especially people like Hlubi if he continues thinking outside the box. So I have a question for all of you. Do you believe your favorite Instagram influencer built a solid long-term income from being an influencer? You see smiles, but behind those cameras you might find depression, pretense, and a desire to live the joy they paint on those illusions. Of course, I'm not talking about anyone in particular. Let's talk about the Instagram girls with a big bad wave. Yes, that's what I call it. What I call the Instagram big bad wave started getting very popular here in South Africa sometime around 2018. By 2019, that's when the wave of girls with a big ass started trending through the roof. It's still so bad here in South Africa, so much so that the Instagram algorithm makes it nearly impossible to grow from 0 followers unless you have a big butt or a very beautiful face. For the first year, the Instagram big butt revolution really took us by storm. We were literally liking every picture with ass or a pretty face. Look at the Bomb RSA, for example. She's literally like the African version of Kim Kardashian, but without the infamous tape, of course. 1 million followers. Why? How? Instagram in South Africa and YouTube have one thing in common: brand deals. Oh, the lucrative brand deals. Now I have to admit, this is where influencers really get to shine. During the big bad revolution, brands were throwing money at every girl with a big ass on Instagram because you and I, boys, were drooling over their pages with the desire to get rich through Forex and date some of them or even bag some of them. I know some of you had those ideas and those plans. The illusion of these girls being better or more beautiful than the ones you see every day in your life just because they have thousands of followers was a very huge thing here in South Africa at that time, and I believe even in the rest of the world. It's all an illusion. Successfully painting an illusion seems to be a very lucrative business. For these Instagram influencers, it should be more like fake it till they pay for it. Now tell me, how many girls do you come across while scrolling on your feed that have more than 100,000 followers here right now in South Africa? How many of them have brand endorsements on their feed? Yes, it has become a dog-eat-dog world right now. There are now probably thousands of girls with more than 100k followers, and brands can't pay for all of them. Brands go for the biggest influencers like Bomb, Bianca Coster, just to name a few of them off the top of my head. I swear I've had a huge crush on Bianca Coster for a long time now. Why has the Instagram algorithm favored these girls for so long? There is actually a valid reason. Biased, yes, but it's actually valid. The goal for every social media platform is to keep you active on their app for as long as possible. This is why they have algorithms meant to study patterns in your behavior, and why there are rumors of some applications spying on users to steal data and information. Have you noticed on Instagram, if you spend some time watching football content, the next time you reload your feed, it starts showing you a lot more football content, but it shows you the content with a lot of likes because it understands the most viral posts from the topic you have been exploring are more likely to hook your attention and keep you on the platform. Well, here is where the Instagram algorithm became a little bit dark here in South Africa. A while ago on Instagram, if you spent days watching Christian-based stuff or posts by athletes, for example, it would keep suggesting posts by Christian-based creators or posts by athletes. But the moment you view one post, I mean a single post of a girl with a big butt or a pretty face, it instantly shifts your feed and floods it with girls, and oh, of course, girls with ass and curves. From my understanding, the algorithm is programmed to pick up on anyone that views a girl. It knows the nature of a man and then it preys on us. They take advantage of us and do their best to show you the most beautiful girls just because they want you to keep scrolling on the platform for a longer period of time. Believe me or not, TikTok is slowly taking the exact same direction as Instagram. In 2023, you are either massive in following or you have a big following on both Instagram and YouTube. That gives you a lot more appeal. If you want those brand deals, ladies, then take advantage of this platform right here because a dedicated audience smells like big bucks to these big brands. These days, you see less influencers hosting big events. The wave was so big in 2018 and 2019 that it would be very hard to come across an influencer not hosting some form of event on a weekend or another weekend. TikTok also started paying creators. Yes, the payment on TikTok was way less than the money YouTube pays vloggers. Now we are hearing platforms like TikTok and Facebook want to stop paying creators because short-form content doesn't attract advertisers. Advertisers are still more attracted to long-form content because viewers are dedicated and focused when watching long-form videos on YouTube. TikTok has a secret payment system that not many people actually know about. When you are a big creator, there will come a time when big record labels will use these creators to engineer hype behind songs. So believe me when I say, the top of the TikTok influencers pyramid will be eating really good because such deals with record labels can be very lucrative. Take YouTubers like No Life Shake and DJ Ghost for example. They always show evidence of major record labels contacting them to react to new songs or new artists in order to generate hype behind those songs. Heck, look at the Kardashians for example. That clan used content creation to spearhead their beauty and fashion empire. Where would the Kardashians be without their Instagram followers? They literally earned billions off their hold on Instagram. Now look at the hype they generate every time they post something on Instagram. Kylie Jenner literally gave massive traction to Travis Scott when he released his Astroworld album. Because of her posting this album, Travis went from being a platinum selling artist to hitting 3 times platinum with that album and getting a Grammy nomination on top of that. People will not admit it, but we all know Kylie Jenner's social media support is what gave Travis that massive boost. Cristiano Ronaldo, a massive walking cloud machine. This man can post a picture right now on Instagram and casually get 3 million likes in a matter of hours. Oh yes, being an influencer is very lucrative. It's a very lucrative business. But I'm here to bring you the truth. You have to be willing to put in the time, produce a standard in your content that sets you apart from the rest.